What is there to say about Fred Bergsten?
Fred's irrepressible. He doesn't get discouraged, ever.
Fred is very persuasive. He's a wonderful man. He knows his topic. He's a real marketer.
Fred Bergsten figured out that Laura Tyson was not only interesting, but was going to be important in the Clinton administration before I even knew who she was.
I feel like Fred and I agree on most things, which must mean that either he's a genius or I'm a genius or both of us are.
There was an occasion when we felt we had to remind some of our foreign friends that Bergsten and Benson were two different names.
Fred's the hardest working guy I know.
I think it's fair to say, having spent 12 years in Washington, there are very few people as creative as Fred that I've run across, as knowledgeable as Fred, and certainly not as many people who are willing to consider unusual perspectives on an area where this person obviously has great expertise.
Well, Fred's quite a guy. He's a pistol. Fred's got more energy than about 10 other people I can think of. He's always excited. He's always positive. He's always upbeat. He's always trying to find a solution to a problem. He's not a downer. He's not pessimistic. He's not dour. I think the world of Fred.
Fred and I have known each other since I was 10 and I think he was 8. And it had to do with basketball. His father was the pastor of St. John's Church in New Rochelle, New York. And St. John's Church sported the only indoor gymnasium in the city that you could use on Saturdays. So on Saturdays, and went over there to play basketball. Fred was always there. And he and I had this passion for that game, which we share to this day.
Fred was convinced that if the three-point shot had been implemented 15 years earlier, he would have been drafted into the NBA. Scoring would have been almost 30 points higher per game. The number of assists per game would have fallen sharply. We call it the Bergsten ball hog effect. Average U.S. productivity growth would have been substantially lower had Fred gone to the NBA and not served on the Competitiveness Policy Council. The dollar-yen rate would have been about 25% weaker without Fred's jawboning.
I don't play basketball with short guys with beards.
Fred is wise in many ways, and one of his greatest acts of wisdom is not asking me to play basketball because I was a high school All-American basketball player and I might have showed him up too much.
I imagine in international economics, Fred is the one who always gets the good-looking girl to go to the prom.
There are a couple of qualities about Fred that make him the best possible choice to head the Institute. One, I think, is the brilliance and passion that he brings to international economics. The second one is his total sense of security intellectually. And the third great thing about Fred is Jenny. And the fact that we have Jenny as part of the Institute, that's another great thing about Fred.
So I think Fred is kind of like the triple threat football player that you see every once in a while, but very rarely.